It's Friday, everyone, and that means it's time for another episode of Ask the Expert with Rob Sutherland. Rob, my first question to you this week is, why is taking the occasional loss so important for growth?
People need to learn from their mistakes. I think that if you're going to get into business or you're just going to get into life, in general, there's going to be errors, there's going to be mistakes. You can't get hung up on it. You have to learn from your own mistakes. Otherwise, you're never going to learn anything, right? And I think in order to grow and achieve things, you have to learn some things along the way. And sometimes those are things you don't want to learn.
Right. They say that repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So why don't people learn from their mistakes?
Force of habit, right? It's easy to sit there. There's that book called Who Moved My Cheese? I don't know if you've ever read it. It's about a 45-minute read. It's about 4 rats who keep going to the same cheese every day, and then one day they come and the cheese is gone. Well, 2 of the rats go, and I think they were mice, but either way, they love cheese. And so 2 of the mice, ran off to try and find new cheese, and the other 2 just kept going back to the same place where there was no cheese every day. Luckily, the other 2 rats found cheese and brought it back and saved the other 2 mice lives, or whatever, the rodents' lives. And that's the moral of the story, is if you're going to come to the same place every day expecting the same cheese to be there, it's not going to be there forever. Things change in business, right? It's that kind of mindset. And so I think if you can be proactive like that and learn from your mistakes, like I was saying, you can take the occasional L and still win.
Yeah, it's amazing. We can learn so much from mice.
Yes, indeed.
Well, when failure is not an option, then what do you do?
Failure is always an option, right? You could just fail by driving your car. You could fail by not paying your credit card bills. There's lots of ways to fail that are bad ways to fail. But obviously, if you put all your effort into something that's a business and then it goes bankrupt, well, hey, that was a bad thing, but it was still a learning experience. It's what makes us stronger, is these learning experiences. And you've got to change your approach. You've got to keep looking at what you did and learn from that. And it'll make you smarter and more proactive as a person. And I think that's something that anybody can do. I mean, heck, I'm not that smart, but I've got a successful business or 2. And it's just because I kept working at it and changing my approach and figuring out which way would be the path to success. And it's not always what you think, 20 years ago, I had a different thing in mind than I've got now, and I think that so many people just, like I said, get stuck looking at things in one way, and rather than looking at it a couple of different ways. I think that will just expand people's success if you can just learn from your mistakes and grow with it.
Yes, the always wise and always humble Rob. Thank you so much for that great information. And for more information on PBA, just click on the link probrokeragency.com. Be sure to tune in on Monday for another episode of Ask the Expert with Rob Sutherland.
Don't be afraid to take the L.